Gaming community, this one's for you. Welcome to the next episode of the Rant 115. Today we're going to be talking about Call of Duty Black Ops. Hear me out. What happened to the franchise? We know it. We grew up with it. We've played it for years. Household name. Every first-person shooter gamer, from gamers as a whole. Doesn't matter if you play MMORPGs, if you play just single-player campaigns. We all know the name, the franchise, Call of Duty. But how would you describe it right now? I personally think, although, yes, it has a great fan base, and I would consider myself, still a part of that community in some way, I think it just it lost its hype.
It absolutely did.
Yeah.
When I hear Call of Duty now, I think lackluster, lame, whack is. I think of wasting my wallet, all my income on skins.
You know what I think of? That's a good point.
Tell me.
I think of an alien with an abnormally large head named Roger, right? That is now in the game and holds a martini glass, of all things. Not even a whiskey glass, okay? A martini glass.
You know what? If he was holding a whiskey glass, I might have bought it.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I'll buy that shit right now. I really would. No, man, but I think you're right. I think the skins is one thing that really kind of started to pull people away, right? Because don't get me wrong, there's franchises that do it well, and I think it's part of their culture. For example, Fortnite, right?
That's a great example.
Fortnite is known for that. That's kind of their thing, right? Like, remember, not too long ago, they had a whole Star Wars thing going on. You remember when Battlefront 2 was gaining traction again? And we broke the servers, right, by every Battlefront player, logging on, and we crashed those servers, and that was dope. And then Fortnite was like, cool, we see you, we hear you, let's throw that here, right?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it was very smart, and that's what they're known for, right? They can capitalize on that type of shit. But why did Black Ops go that route? Why did Call of Duty go that route? Like, I don't like to attribute a first-person shooter, right? I'm not going to go as far as to call it like a military simulator, right? But a first-person shooter, right, that's roots are embedded in World War II, right? Call of Duty, like our original Call of Duty games, I think of World War II.
Absolutely.
Right? World at War. Remember that? Fucking zombies, like getting introduced to zombies. You think of the Modern Warfare series, the original Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, all that stuff. And if you were to compare, if you were to go back in time, right? If I was in Back to the Future right now, and I said, hey, actually, take me back to when there were no Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that were holding an M16 or an M4.
Ridiculous.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I would not believe that we've come that far. And some people like it though. Like, some people find it as a no. I like this. And why do you think they do it, bro? Why do you think the developers continue to drop these skins?
I got an answer for you.
Hit me.
Money,
and we love to spend it, babies.
Here's the thing. You know what's funny about this? Correct me if I'm wrong, but Call of Duty is not a third-person shooter.
No.
So you're paying for a skin that you can't even see while you're actually interacting with the gameplay in and of itself. You can see, your friends or enemy players and their skins, but you can't even see yourself. So what is even the point? You know what I mean?
Wow. I didn't even think of that shit.
Yeah, that's what blows my mind is it makes sense for Fortnite to have skins like that because it's third person.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it already has an artsy, fartsy graphic style. It's cartoon. It's not realistic.
Yeah.
Now, granted, the times have changed and gone are the times of Call of Duty, battling, no pun intended, but Battlefield for the realism aspect. Battlefield definitely won that years ago.
Yeah.
Especially probably once since zombies hit, the game started taking itself a little less seriously, adding, your zombie characters like Richtofen or Dempsey, Takiao, and or Pacquiao. No, Takiao. I'm thinking of the fighter.
I was saying, hold on, bro. Hey, shout out to our fans in the Philippines. that shout out was for you.
Hey, that's so racist, huh? That I just mentioned Pacquiao.
No, if anything, you know what that means?
Tell me.
Boy loves boxing. You guys know that?
I do.
In
I'm
fact,
a boxing fan.
let's take a look at his boxers.
You know what I also love?
Yeah.
Box.
Oh, please put a picture of a beautiful box up there. Hey, bro, I could be your UPS driver.
I know they don't accept tips, but I'll give you a tip.
Oh.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Oh! Hey, bro, why do you have a mushroom on top of your... See what you guys make us do?
Yeah, we just go on a rant.
Hey, what would you do? Okay. Hey, what would you...
Hit me with it.
What would you do if Call of Duty, right? Mm-hmm. Black Ops 7 decides to drop a skin and it's a UPS driver?
Does it look like a bourbon bandit?
It looks like a bourbon bandit holding a box, and you see like the toad symbol from Mario in front of the box. Well, would you buy? Also, can we get an edit on that?
Yeah.
Would you guys buy this?
I'll tell you what, bro.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned toad.
Yeah.
Instead of dropping a blue shell, I'll be dropping some blue balls.
Oh. Hey, we can fix that, dog. Hey, for any of our subscribers that want to help Beanie Bro here with his blue ball situation, that'd
be dope.
That'd be super dope. But no, you know what? You made a good point about paying skins for other people to see it. You know what it makes me think of in my head?
Tell me.
I don't own a Lamborghini. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But why do you think people purchase these really fancy, luxurious cars? It's to show off.
Oh, I see where you're going with
It's
this.
to show off their wealth, right? Don't get me wrong. Yeah, like when you're walking towards your car, you're like, damn, I own that? Mm-hmm. I'm Roger from American Dad, right?
Exactly.
But you're right. It's mainly to showcase to, other people what you have. That's like skins in a nutshell.
Yeah,
when you
that's
think
a good point.
when you think about
absolutely.
it, like, and even in Battlefield, right? You and I have been grinding in Battlefield recently, and I'm not gonna lie, I am chasing some skins. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Fucking without paying, of course. I'm trying to. I'm
that's the difference.
You know what I mean?
That's
like
the difference.
I'm doing these, little challenges here and there. Trying to work my way there. But you're right. Like in a way, it's for vanity. It's to say like, look, I got this skin. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But so many people now are quick to pay for it instead of grinding for it. So, would you have more respect for Call of Duty if you didn't have to pay for those like wazoo skins and shit? Like, would you respect it more if you had to grind to be, whatever they're marketing, to be, what was it, Art the Clown?
Oh, yeah.
To be Ghostface?
I saw that. You're right.
To be Ghostface, yeah. Like, would you respect it more if like you didn't have, it wasn't a cash grab and you had to do a crazy ass like zombies challenge or whatever challenge?
That'd be cool for horror. It kind of intertwines.
You know what I'm saying?
I absolutely would. And I think that's what comes down to it. You know, I mean, think about when Battlefront 2 dropped. That was the major flack of it, that you had to. The monetization of it. People were claiming DICE, if I'm not mistaken, which ironically is the same company that does Battlefield. But they were giving them some flack because you had to spend so much money on loot boxes.
Yeah.
And I think somebody did the math, and it was some astronomical number. You had to spend hundreds of dollars to even attempt to have a shot at like Darth Vader or something like that. Yeah, so it goes back to the lack of respect. You know what I mean? And I think that's why people don't cling to it as much. Obviously, the gameplay is fun. Yeah. Nobody's gonna argue that. Yeah. It's a hell of a lot smoother than Battlefield. Yeah. For example, like just the movement. What's the cliche that all of us think about? Drop shotting, quick scoping. That's such a Call of Duty staple. You know what I mean?
dolphin dive right inside
Yeah,
of you.
exactly. Oh, I missed the dolphin dive.
Yeah. Wait, what sound do dolphins make? Well, that's a sheep or a lamb. All right. Yeah, my fault. Hey, I don't go to zoos a lot, baby.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna move to SeaWorld, bro, just to see you.
Oh, wow. You might get seasick. All right.
My bad. I was in the middle of a sip right there.
Oh, you know what's crazy? Me too. But hear me out. Hear me out.
Hit me with it.
On the topic of loot boxes, right? Season passes. I think, okay, because there was such backlash, right, on loot boxes. What did game developers think, right? They said, okay, people don't want to gamble, right? Like they're in Vegas. Also, if you could put up a beautiful skyline of Las Vegas, that would be dope right now. Also, I just was there recently and lost a lot of money. So your boy literally just contributed to a loot box. But you know what I'm saying? Like for gamers, right? We wanna play. We pay over $60 for our games. Right. That's US dollars, but we love you wherever you're at. In any case, we pay that money. And then, like you said, to get these additional features that they already made into the game, we don't have to pay extra. So I think their remedy was the season pass. Hey, if you do pay us this, we can almost guarantee you'll get these items, right? These unlocks. But I don't like it when it's just for that season.
Oh, I don't like it either.
I don't like that either.
And most of them have a system where once the season's ended, you can't even get the old stuff. So, you know, for those of us working our 9 to 5s and we have priorities, we may not get the game right away at release.
Yeah. We
may not be able to afford the season 1 pass, and then it's passed you by. You can't even get that, and it's almost kind of like a. I'm gonna pause so I know where to edit this. A you to the person who just purchased your game. You know what I mean? I take that as a sign of disrespect, and unfortunately, a lot of the games that we do, like even Battlefield, has a season pass on it. Marvel Rivals has season passes on it. I remember when that first broke out, because I played Fortnite at the beginning. Right at the very beginning when like Ninja was popular and everything. And I remember seeing season pass, and I was like, "What the heck is this? Am I watching a TV series? What do you mean season? I've never heard season correlated to video games before." And it wasn't until Call of Duty came out that I finally understood what entailed in the season pass, and it kind of just put a bunch of distaste in my mouth. I didn't like the idea of it. For the exact reasons that I mentioned.
Yes.
So I think everything comes back to lack of respect and just that the hype isn't there anymore, personally, when it comes to Call of Duty. Mainly because a big reason is they're pushing a Call of Duty out every year.
Right.
Similarly to, not to get off topic, but I think of like Madden or NBA 2K, you name it, like sports games. They're just pushing out one game a year because they know they have their
fan base,
prescribed audience, fan base that's going to purchase it every single year. So it's a no-brainer. And unfortunately, I don't want to get too philosophical into this, but it's kind of a shame that we're prioritizing quantity over quality. You know what I mean? Which, that's why I had a little bit of respect for Battlefield, because they took some time before they released it.
Yeah, and I will say this. Again, I get it. They're different games right now. I remember, okay, you made a good point earlier in the video where you said a few years back it was a competition, right, between Call of Duty and Battlefield, which is the most immersive first-person shooter.
Yeah.
But they have since taken different paths. I think they recognize that one wants to focus on one thing, one focused on... You know, I know there's some backlash on Battlefield 6 right now about how big the maps are, but generally speaking, the maps, of course, are bigger than that of Call of Duty, right? There's tanks, there's helicopters, there's jets, there's, Humvees, you name it, right? It's in Battlefield. And then Call of Duty aims for hey, you know what? We don't need that. Let's stick to, it's going to be fast-paced, close-quarter combat. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
they capitalize on that. So you get your two. Do you want a long 25? Because you and I we've played both games. Mm-hmm. You and I could run a TDM match in Call of Duty and be done with that shit in less than 8 minutes.
Right.
You know what I mean? As long as we get, we're locked in. Battlefield, even if you and I are locked in, it's a 20+ minute match.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Some even longer. You know what I mean? If both teams are really battling, and for example, I like to play Conquest on Battlefield. If both teams are on their shit, then it's kind of hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can understand, even for those of us that are like you and I, right? Your average casual gamer, do I have those 20, 30 minutes, right, to play one match? And it's one match, right? Like it's one map that I've been fucking stressing on. Or could you play Call of Duty and run 2, 3 maps, different lobby, different players, all within that same time frame? Which do you want to invest your time in? So I think the developers recognize what they can offer their people. So I'm not knocking Call of Duty for what they do. I'm just saying they tailor to different audiences, but I don't like the route they went. I don't think they had to go too, what's the word? Too like
commercialized.
Too commercialized.
That's what it really comes down to, being commercialized with as we mentioned, the skins.
Yeah.
The easy access. I feel like there's a lot less strategy. I think that's really what it's coming down to, is the lack of strategy involved. And even the player HUD, it throws me off to what I think of is similarly, I'm going to, again, go on a rant, no pun intended, but think of the original Assassin's Creeds versus the modern ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was no health bars on the enemies unless you engage in like the actual combat, the non-stealth version. But the HUD was so simple. Whereas now in like the modern Assassin's Creeds, you see every single player's health bar. You could essentially inflict damage on them 30 times, but if your weapon level isn't that high, you're not going to do nothing to them. You know what I mean? And to me, again, it takes the immersion out of it, right? Any person, if you took away the HUD, you'd be like, I just stabbed this fool 40 times and nothing.
Yeah.
But because it's based off of like an RPG style, whereas the old Assassin's Creed, doesn't matter if you hit them once, and they're gone.
They're
and
out.
I correlate it to, for example, the modern zombies. You know what I mean? There was no health bar on the zombies. It was so simplistic.
Yeah.
You buy a door, you can find the 3 objects, whatever that gives you the song, and that was pretty much it. You might be able to do some Easter egg for the storyline, and donezo. The rest of your time spent playing that was just how far can I get in the rounds. Whereas now, the immersion is completely gone. I can see all the health bars. The HUD is so like compact. It throws me off. I don't even enjoy it at this time. The training system is a lot different on how the zombies interact with you, and that was the main reason why I stuck with Call of Duty for a long time. And that was my go-to over Battlefield.
Right.
Was the zombies in particular. And then sooner or later, once it got past even the first Black Ops and the second one, it just got so convoluted. I can't keep track. I just don't like it.
It
personally.
changed. No, yeah, it changed. I enjoy playing the first Black Ops fucking so much, dude. That was my game. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that wasn't too far away from, if I remember correctly, from Battlefield 3, But yeah, I can't look back at it and say that it was the perfect game, but I can tell you that it was the right game at the time. So maybe times are changing, right? So are developers trying to keep up with what gamers want now, what they can, what are we asking for? Mm-hmm. But even more important is Call of Duty holds a special place in my heart, right? For some people, right, it's their first-person shooter.
Yeah,
For
like
us,
it was for me.
like it was for me, right? Like I remember loading up into that lobby, and this was like a few years back, so those lobbies were crazy. This is before, people would get banned.
That was the golden era.
That was the golden
dude.
area where you grew some thick skin real quick.
Concussion out!
Yeah, y'all niggas that
I remember I had a little squeaky voice, and I had a Bluetooth speaker, right? Threw that shit on my ear, getting mad cancer for sure. You know what I mean? And I remember as soon as I turned it on, the lobby just tore me up. And again, like times change, people change, but I think about that and I think about the game itself, and I still had a really good time. So that nostalgia will always be with me when I think of Call of Duty. Regardless of what I think of it now, I'll remember those years, like you said, that first person shooter introduction. So I'm going to ask you a question.
Hit me with it.
Do you think, and this goes for you guys too, those of you that are listening, do you think Call of Duty can redeem itself?
I think they can.
Okay.
I think they can. And it's a long if, right? But here's why I think they can. Because the solution is already out there. There's been so much publicity about this. There's been so much feedback from the community, from Call of Duty players and non-Call of Duty players. Now, granted, don't get me wrong. It's like you said earlier in the video. Call of Duty has its thing. We don't necessarily need it nor want it to become Battlefield 2.0, right? Just like how we didn't want Battlefield to become Call of Duty.
Good point.
We want the vehicles. We want the big cinematic battles. We want the strategy in it. I would love to be able to put in a new generation of Call of Duty a couple of years from now and just go back to the simplicity of it. I don't need the skins. I don't need the season passes. I don't need crazy movements and jetpacks and bigger and better. That's not always the case. If anything, I feel like in the gaming community, it has proven time and time again that simplicity is better. And all I'm asking for is a good campaign. I mean, think about it. My favorite campaign of all time is the Black Ops 1 campaign.
That was good.
The loading screen
Yeah.
grabbed you.
Oh,
it
yeah.
hooked you.
And when you could look
Like,
around
why-
and lift your arms from the straps and you
why
walk
am
around.
I chained up right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Who's the guy talking behind the speaker?
The numbers, Mason.
The numbers, Mason. it grabbed you. You know what I mean? That's what I want. A good campaign. Give me a good zombies. You can keep the original characters. Everybody loves them. Everybody's followed the storyline of it so far. But just make it simple. We don't need some giant robot walking over us while we're shooting zombies. Yeah. Just bring it back to simple, stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all about the guns. It's all about the cool maps and the fast-pacedness of it. Yes. Just keep it that. That's all I personally am asking for. What about you?
I'm gonna add on. So I'm gonna agree with everything you said and just add a few more things. I'm gonna say, because there's some people that are gonna think like, okay, then let's just make a remaster of Black Ops 1. No. We've done the remasters before.
Yeah.
And they never take off as much as they should. How about we introduce? Because think about it. There's new FPS gamers, right? People that are getting introduced to these types of games. And they're probably like, no, this is all I know. All I know is this fast paced, like you said, wazoo, robot coming on top of me, all this extra, right? That's what they know. So if you almost like, I don't want to say the word force, but if you introduce them, right, to what you and I played growing up, maybe they would be surprised to be like, damn, this is actually kind of cool. the stress actually goes down a little bit. I mean, there's still the stress of the game, and it's sometimes because it's so simple, it can still be stressful. You know, it's a different level of a gaming experience, right? Like you said, the very first Black Ops game, that zombies mode compared to the last zombies mode and the last Call of Duty game are two completely different experiences.
Absolutely.
However, if you played the very first one, you'll still experience a level of stress.
Oh, so
You get what I'm saying? It's
more,
just a different
more stress.
You get what I'm saying? It's just a different type.
Because of the lack of, tools and cheats that you can use. You know what I mean? I agree 100%.
Yeah.
And I'll give the audience an example. A perfect example of what Call of Duty needs to do. Think of Doom, the Doom franchise. It's literally a copy and paste from the one that you can load up on, that you can download the extension on Google Chrome, the old version. I'm dating myself. I was born after it was made, but whenever it was made, the original first one to the 2016 version, if I'm not mistaken,
That
the first
remaster,
one,
remake.
the first remake, it's the same gameplay. Everything is the same. It just has new graphics.
Yeah.
And everybody loved it. Absolutely loved it. And then, of course, on the second version of it, they did the same thing. They didn't have to recreate it. People just want the same thing, just a newer version of it, or new things to do in said version. That's all I'm asking for. And you know what? Call of Duty, Treyarch, whoever's manufacturing the newest one to come out, take some time on it. We don't need it to come out every single October or November.
It's not a sports game like you said.
It's not a sports game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense why sports games come out with a new one. As much as I dislike it and I don't think it's a benefit to quality, it makes sense because there's newer players and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Newer athletes. Sure, whatever. That's a great devil's advocate point to produce one every year.
Yes.
But Call of Duty, you can take some time. In fact, I would argue if anything, for the developers, for all the engineers working on Black Ops 7, it's more of a tribute to them saying, hey, we value this game so much, we think it's worth it that you can play it for 2 years straight.
Yeah.
But all this work and all this, the season passes, DLCs, even the base game in and of itself, it's kind of like a slap in the face to just be like, oh, by the way, we're moving on from that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why do you think people dislike Apple from Android? Because Apple comes out with a new phone every single year, regardless if the newer version is even necessary. That's my point.
Yeah.
In fact, I would argue Apple makes a new phone just to make a new phone.
Yeah.
And they make up a reason for it to be a new phone. Does that make sense?
It keeps it relevant.
They don't make a new phone because, oh, you know what? We're behind on technology. There's this new thing that just came out in Silicon Valley. This is why we should make a new phone. No, it's let's make a new phone regardless. What stupid, inconceivable, ridiculous thing that's not even a good quality to it can we add to it just so we can market it as this is why it's new? Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I get you. And I'm going to end it on this note then. What is one of the games that has taken the longest to add another sequel to?
I can't think off the top of my head. Tell me.
I'm going to give you 3 letters. GTA.
Oh, wow. You're right.
Think about that. If a Grand Theft Auto were released every year, it would lose its touch. It would lose its value. This next GTA game coming out is said to have cost already over $2 billion.
Is that, wait, Bourbon Bandit,
Yeah.
is that with a B?
Bourbon Bandit likes $2 billion games, baby. You know what I mean? Yes, bro. And they have taken their time. Granted, if you take too long, it creates an expectation, right? So
the hype is
real, insane. Like this game needs to essentially be perfect, right? But at the same time, because it didn't come out every year, think about how excited we are every time there's an update.
Yeah.
And when the update says they're not being postponed, we like to hear about it, right? Like we heard all these things about just the water graphics alone.
Yes.
Going to the beach, your boy's about to swim in a game, baby. You know what I mean? If they spend $2 billion on this shit, I'm gonna do laps. I'm gonna get eaten by sharks. The Loch Ness monster might be in this mother, and I'm gonna check it out for $2 billion of manufacturing. Yeah.
I've never wanted to be a shark in my life before.
Oh, and I am identified as a Loch Ness monster. So to your point, taking your time on developing a good sequel can be a good thing, for that fan. Because think about it, all those people that played GTA 5, we have since played so many different games. And what do we want? We want a sequel to that GTA.
We want the one thing that hasn't filled the void yet. Because you can't get that experience anywhere else.
Can't get it anywhere else.
And to Call of Duty's credit, other games come out and try and fill that, but they're not Call of Duty.
They're not Call of Duty in that respect.
So yeah. I will give them their due.
Yeah.
You guys have the first-person shooter thing down to a T. You just need to take out all the extra stuff, and I do have hope for the franchise.
I do too. And you know what? To our fans, to our subscribers, our followers, those of you that have been supporting us, again, please let us know your thoughts. We love seeing these likes, the comments we've been getting. Again, this is amazing for us. Again, just two best friends ranting about the most random topics. And you know what? Honestly, can I say something?
Yeah.
Is this a safe space?
Bro, you're in the safest space possible.
In that case, gaming community, we love being a part of you. We love it. I can't think of some good pastime, right, that doesn't include a session or two. You know what I mean? A good game sesh with the homies, right, with your friends, the broskies, the boys. It's fun, and I love it, and I want this community to thrive. So Call of Duty, please think about what made you work in the first place. I get it, your success is still there, but let's switch up the recipe a little bit, And to our Battlefield fans, again, we play Battlefield, love Battlefield. To those of you that play Fortnite, again, we've played Fortnite. We support the Fortnite community. If you're still playing Battlefront, right? No, just the gaming community as a whole. It doesn't matter what game you play, right? I would like to consider us a tight-knit community. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We have a common pastime, and we only benefit from good games. So thank you guys again for the likes, the follows, the support, and we'll see you next time on the Rant 115.
Boom.
Boom.